Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, and Shinrin Yoku, bringing you a volcano and earthquake update. Full beaver blood moon, partial lunar eclipse Thursday, November 18th, 2021, around 9:30 p.m. Now, tonight we're going to be talking about Fernandina Volcano in the Galápagos and the earthquake activity at the New Madrid Fault in Missouri. Let's start with Fernandina Volcano in the Galápagos. Significant ground deformation and possible activity first since the January 2020 eruption, coming just a few days ago. And up in the caldera, there has been major uplift in the center and down drop off the flank. And this is indicative of magma being in place under the surface of a volcano about to erupt. The ground has been uplifted approximately 400 millimeters per year beneath the northeast flank of the volcano since the last eruption, and a negative deformation has been detected beneath the west-southwest slope, which is all telltale signs of an impending eruption. Based on deformation data, it is suggested the magma may be accumulated at 2 kilometers shallow level or at a deep magma reservoir located at 4.5 kilometers under the surface. Now, the last eruption of this volcano was quite insignificant. It was an eastern fissure event, but this has the potential to blow big time. And when you look at the size of the caldera here on Fernandina, this is from the VEI-4 eruption back in 1968. Are we going to repeat that? It's anyone's guess. It looks like a small amount of inflation here in the eastern portion of the caldera. Could be VEI-2 or greater. I don't have any experience looking at this volcano. No one does. It's in such a remote region. It's anyone's guess. This slight green activity is all the growth that's happened since January of 2020, which is just about 2 years now. And that's all about to go away. Here's the fumarolic activity that's been seen in the last 24 hours of powers. Fernandina, since the uplift was reported as being critical today, Fernandina, Galapagos Islands, fumarolic activity reported. The local volcano observatory reported that fumarolic activity has been detected at the crater during the past few days with significant ground deformation and fumaroles. Hello. Let's find out what a fumarole is. A fumarole is a smoke hole. It's an opening in the crust of the earth, often found in areas surrounding volcanoes most of the time. It emits steam. And it forms when superheated water vaporizes as pressure drops when it emerges from the ground. And gases that are produced from these fumaroles include not only steam, but carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. And often on these fissures, you have sulfur deposits like we're seeing in La Palma. You've seen some of the cracks in the fumaroles there. Now, here is the most spectacular eruption in recent memory at Fernandina. This is the 2018 eruption back in June. 2018. This eruption was VEI-1, and the eruption at La Palma is VEI-2, but they're very similar. This is a fissure eruption like La Palma. Here is the lava stream, and here it reaches the ocean. So very similar eruption happening at La Palma that happened here that no one noticed, no one cared about, and no one watched 24/7 on the live stream. And here is the most recent eruption, which was VEI-0, which was just a short lava stream and flow. Another flank eruption that happened in January of 2020. Now, if we come over to the Smithsonian Global Volcanism Program on Fernandina, you're going to see a very recent volcano. This is a cinder cone with no life around it. In fact, we showed you the most recent photo with that greening, and that's been since this eruption, which was the 2020 eruption, which killed everything. And here's the 2020 eruption at VEI-0. It was just a small lava stream. The 2018 eruption, VEI-1, that we showed you that looked a little bit more spectacular. Well, let's see if we can bring that back up here. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. So that's VEI-1 because it was one short event. If this event lasted for 60 days, we would say VEI-2, and that's what's happening on La Palma. Much shorter. And we'll get to La Palma at the end of the video. So, again, in 2017, VEI-2, 2009, VEI-2, 2005, VEI-2, 1995, VEI-2. Are you picking it up? It's probably going to be a VEI-2 based on inflation and the size of the magma chamber. This baby has also blown, as I said earlier in the video, to VEI4 back in 1968, which is the shape of the current caldera, and that's the West Caldera Wall. And so this volcano, potentially VEI3 here back in 1825, has blown much larger in the past, potentially. But it's in such a remote area that almost no one witnesses eruptions here, and it may affect no one. If it erupts at VEI4, it could affect the coast in South America, but that's to be seen. It's our prediction that this will erupt at VEI2 very soon, and that's boom. The knowledge, but not the end of the video. We want to talk about some of the earthquake activity here in Missouri along the New Madrid Fault. And so we're looking at a significant earthquake that happened about 30 hours ago, followed by an aftershock. There was a 4 magnitude, 7 kilometers south of Williamsville, Missouri. And it was followed by, well, what would be expected, a 2.5. Now, this is a significant quake because I did some historical research into the largest earthquakes in this region, and the last earthquake in this area at that magnitude was 30 years ago, and that was 4 magnitude 30 years ago at 5 kilometers depth, just to the east and a little south of the current location, right over here. This one is closer to the New Madrid Fault. Now, many people claim that all the quakes happening here in this region on the Appalachian Fault are aftershocks from the 1811 New Madrid Fault that killed everyone in the region and completely disrupted everything. The Mississippi changed direction and flew north. Yeah, it flowed north here almost all the way to Michigan for a period of weeks or months before everything equalized. So we could be seeing an uptick here, and we're going to keep a close eye on that. But there's nothing to worry about because if you live here, there's nothing you can do except if there is a major earthquake, get out of your home or get under something stable like a table and get out of harm's way and wait till it's over. Have a bug out plan because the New Madrid will fault again. It's not a question of if, just when. And we're seeing activity we haven't seen in 30 years, very close to that fault. That's boom, to knowledge. I hope you got something out of the video. The most important thing to glean from this is Fernandina is about to erupt again. And we see an uptick in volcanoes, and there's lots of them. There's over 150 volcanoes on Earth that could all be erupting very shortly. And right now we're at about 50, which is pretty normal. But many more volcanoes, and I'm seeing an uptick. I've been watching this for half a decade, are coming out of the woodwork, and they're making a spectacular debut. Now we have fumarolic activity here at Fernandinino, and here's a fumarole. It's steam, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and that is a precursor, well, to the boom. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. And for goodness sakes, be safe. Now, our prediction of La Palma was that due to that huge flurry of 350 earthquakes that we reported on 24 hours before Bushcraft Bear, was indicative of the upper magma chamber in a emptying. And what we saw today was increased lava flow at epic proportions, and it emptied out. So the drop down in activity, in my opinion, is exactly what we predicted 3 days ago, that flurry was going to be the final lava event, and hopefully we should see the volcano coming to an end in just a few days. Subscribe to the channel, share this with like-minded people, and we'll see you in the morning with a full La Palma update. That's a boom. Oh yeah, if you're watching now, go outside. The longest partial lunar eclipse since September of 1440 is happening starting at midnight on the East Coast and ending at 4 a.m. on the West Coast.